I think it's important that we encourage a proper conversation, constructive discussion about the way forward. And it seems to me that both in the Next Century Foundation report you've just circulated, and also in the report from the all-party group that Gary took out to Kurdistan in April this year, there are some very sensible, practical suggestions about the way forward for whoever forms the next British government after May next year. And I want to say just a very few words about four different subjects, about commercial relations, about the issues to do with internal governance and human rights, about Kurdistan within Iraq as a whole, and about relations across international borders, and particularly the Turkish question. Let's deal with trade first, as this is, in many senses, the easiest issue to tackle. Seems to me that from the point of view of the United Kingdom, we have in the Kurdistan region a stable enclave in a very turbulent region that since and even before the overthrow of Saddam Hussein, I mean, thanks to the military intervention, the no-fly zones, the efforts of the Kurdish authorities, there was the makings of an autonomous self-governing area in the north of Iraq. And certainly since the overthrow of Saddam Hussein, Kurdistan has emerged as a cohesive entity, which sadly has not been true of the whole of the territory of Iraq. And there are opportunities for British business to invest and to trade, and I know that the KRG is keen to encourage that. When President Barzani came to see William Hague earlier this year, this is one of the subjects that was touched upon. And a Conservative government would certainly do what it could to facilitate and encourage those commercial links. There are a number of suggestions in these reports, for example, the need for direct flights between London and Kurdistan, if we're going to get business links developing. And a lot of these decisions boil down to hard-headed commercial assessments by the businesses concerned. They're not things that governments can simply wish upon them. But I think that the principle is that we would, in the office, do our best to encourage British commercial engagement with Kurdistan, along with the British commercial investment in Iraq as a whole, because Iraq is a country that has in the past played a very important role in regional politics and regional commerce, and we very much, I think it's important, most obviously for the people of Iraq, but also for the political balance in the region as a whole, that Iraq is able to rebuild its prosperity and its leading role within the Arab world. On internal governance, and I tread lightly, because I do know that there are first of all limits to what it is in the power of any British government to do, but also because I know that countries don't like it when they're read lectures by others, and that those can often be counterproductive. But I think, as is clear from this report, it's clear when you look at Amnesty International's comments, Human Rights Watch, there are issues, I think, that need to be addressed. There has been evidence of discontent with the dominance of the two main parties within the Kurdistan region. And my honest view is that one of the steps that will encourage international investment and the belief that this region is going to remain politically stable will be to address those criticisms and for the regional government to show that it is responding when there is genuine evidence of things having gone wrong. When it comes to the internal politics of Iraq, actually I shouldn't say just on government, again, it isn't something we can rush in and impose, but the UK does have expertise in trying to help countries in Central and Eastern Europe build up functioning democracies, plural societies, societies that respect the rule of law, after years of communist domination. And while you cannot apply that experience directly without amendment to the situation in the Middle East, I do think, I said this at the CNET meeting last night, that everything in the Middle East, including Iraq, including the Kurdistan region, faces a huge challenge with a young population, with increasing access to the internet, to satellite television, knowledge of what is happening around the world, and with rapidly changing expectations of their right to help shape the political future and the nature of society in which they live. I think it's a huge challenge to the entire Arab world as to how they are going to put in place political change to accommodate those aspirations of their own young people, while at the same time trying to avoid revolutionary upheaval or a shift to extremists who claim to offer power to the people, as we know from history, usually end up in denying people what they were promised. So I think that there may be something there which the UK can offer to our friends in terms of expertise to help along that path. On the internal politics of Iraq, I mean, you referred to clearly that cannot be allowed to fester indefinitely, and there's got to be a solution that commands the support of the people living there. And I don't think we've worked out a better way of boosting the opinion of the people to allow them to vote. But it's not just Kirkuk, of course. One of the issues that's raised very frequently with me is over the plight of Iraqi Christians and other ethnic religious minorities in the Nineveh area, and I think there is considerable concern here amongst human rights groups, like amongst the churches, that the tensions between Kurdish people and the Sunni Arab people in the north of Iraq, in the areas adjacent to the Kurdistan regional area, are making life very difficult indeed for those